Let me get this straight. I paid $129 for the certification, $65 for the test, $40 every year just to keep it active. I studied for weeks, nights after closing shifts, on my days off. I skipped family events, said no to self-care, pushed through headaches and back pain to study. And what did I get? A PDF badge in my email, a slightly longer name on my name tag that no one even noticed, and a whopping 55 cents more per hour. Coworkers were giving me side eyes, like I was trying to prove something, and a manager who looked at me like I'd asked for their vacation days. And I get it. Some of you might be thinking, well, at least you got something. But let me ask you this. Would you trade hours of your time, hundreds of your dollars, and your emotional energy for less than the price of a gas station coffee? If you've ever told yourself, maybe just one more certification, maybe this one will finally make them take me seriously, stay with me. Because I'm about to tell you what really happens after you hit that Pay Now button. Welcome back to Pharmacy Tech Unfiltered, the show where we stop pretending that grinding harder fixes the system. I'm Elena Rutka, your host, your peer, and honestly, the person who's probably lived half of your worst work stories already. This isn't a podcast for fluff. We're not here to celebrate another badge on your PTCB profile if it leads nowhere. We're here to unpack the hard truth of working as a pharmacy technician today. This podcast is where we don't pretend pizza parties fix burnout. We say the things you've been thinking during your entire shift. Now, shout out to everyone who followed along with the Career Pivot miniseries last month. The messages I got were incredible. From techs in retail, hospital, compounding, long-term care. Techs who are burnt out, overlooked, and so ready for change. Some of you told me you were listening in your cars after crying in the parking lot. Some of you were walking the aisles with one AirPod in while restocking. And nearly all of you said the same thing. I thought it was just me. So first, it's not just you. And second, today's episode is going to be a reality check that a lot of us need. Because today, we're talking about something that seems harmless. Something we were told is smart. Certifications. You've heard it. Just get more certs. Add more letters after your name. Management loves ambition. But let me ask you this. If certs are such a golden ticket, why are so many of us still stuck in the same roles, on the same shifts, with the same pay, after earning them? Let's get into it. Let me read you this message I got anonymously. And I swear, it could have been written by 100 other techs I've talked to. I thought getting more certifications would help me. I mean, everyone said it would, right? It'll look great on your resume. Management notices the go-getters. It'll open doors. So I did it. I paid out of pocket. I studied late at night after my shifts. I used my lunch breaks to cram CE credits. I gave up weekends to take the exams. And when I passed, nothing really happened. No raise, no promotion, not even a congrats. Just 55 cents more an hour. And a tiny announcement on the pharmacy screen that said I'd earned a new certification. That was supposed to be my moment. But instead of feeling proud, I felt weird, like I'd made a mistake. The other techs started treating me differently, cold, distant, like I thought I was better than them, which I didn't. I wasn't trying to outshine anyone. I just wanted to grow. But instead of feeling smarter, I felt more isolated. My boss didn't care. My paycheck barely moved. And the people I used to joke with stopped talking to me. I kept thinking, was this it? Was this supposed to be worth it? I thought I was doing something good for my career. But now, I just feel used. Like I gave my time, money, energy, and in return, I got a lonely pat on the head and more work. I don't know. Maybe it helped me understand my job better. But it didn't help me feel seen. And honestly, I just feel really, really stupid for believing it would. Let's sit with that for a moment. Because what this tech just described, it's not unique, it's not rare, it's the norm. I've heard this same story from techs all over the country, in retail chains, in hospital systems, in sterile compounding clean rooms, where you're covered head to toe and still feel invisible. Let me tell you about Rachel, a tech I spoke to last month who worked in a high-volume grocery chain pharmacy. She earned her immunization certificate, did it on her own time, covered vaccine clinics, took walk-ins. And when flu season hit, she was giving more shots than the pharmacist. Did she get a bonus? Nope. Did she even get an extra break? Nope. She got burnout. She got yelled at by customers because appointments were double booked. And when she brought it up, her manager said, "Well, you're certified, so you're expected to handle it." Expected. Let that sink in. Certification didn't unlock a door. It just added pressure to keep that door from falling off its hinges. And this happens everywhere. I know another tech, let's call her Anne, who paid nearly $400 for a sterile compounding program. She was told it would help her transition into the clean room full-time, maybe even train new hires. Instead, they kept her floating between outpatient and central fill. Why? Because she was too valuable to move, too valuable to grow, too valuable to promote, too valuable to lose. That's the trap. Certifications often become a leash, proof that you're capable, so they can use you harder without paying you more. And don't even get me started on the culture shift after you certify. People stop talking to you the same way. You go from one of us to trying too hard. Some coworkers even start sabotaging you, like scheduling you into every chaotic shift because you know what you're doing. You become the fixer, but never the one they invest in. So let's talk about the data. I didn't run this survey. It came from a reputable source in the pharmacy tech world. Out of 184 techs, 92% said their additional certifications brought no raise, no promotion, no title change, no meaningful recognition. And let me just say that again for the people in the back. 92% of ambitious, motivated, certified professionals got nothing in return. Can you imagine if nurses or lab techs were told to self-fund their education, pass the test, maintain CE hours, and then get nothing? There'd be a lawsuit. But in pharmacy, we call it professional development. We say, well, maybe next year, maybe when budgets open up, maybe if you cross-train enough. Let's break down the real cost again. One cert, $129. CE hours, $40 to $100 a year. Renewal fees, $50. Study time, unpaid. Energy, burnout, stress, off the charts. And what's the return? 55 cents more an hour. That's $22 more a week, before taxes. That won't even cover the gas you burned getting to the CE testing site. Compare that to learning Microsoft Excel, good documentation practices, or quality systems used in clinical trials. Those open doors. Those pay more. Those give you options outside pharmacy. And that's what most of us are looking for. We're not chasing fancy titles. We're chasing dignity, stability, respect, Let me be clear, certifications can be powerful, but not in the way we're being sold. When you buy a certification to expand your options, that's power. When you're doing it to meet your personal career goal, like breaking into QA or pivoting into clinical research, that's a strategy. But when you're doing it because you're begging for your manager's approval, or because you're clinging to the hope that someone will finally value you, that's a trap. Because here's what happens in pharmacy. Certifications make you more useful, but they don't make you more respected. And they almost never make you more paid. What they do is make you a more exploitable employee. More work, more expectations, same paycheck, and you won't even get the good shifts. Before you drop another $100 on a cert, ask yourself, 1. Will this help me pivot? Or will it just deepen my roots in a job I already hate? If you're already burned out, do you really want to spend more time and money becoming more valuable to a system that won't even give you a cost of living raise? 2. Is this cert recognized outside of pharmacy? Can you take this skill and use it in biopharma, quality assurance, public health, research? Because if the only place this cert is valued is inside the chain you already work for, you're not building freedom. You're building a cage. 3. Who am I doing this for? Are you doing it to build your future? Or to try and win the respect of someone who won't even spell your name right on the schedule? If the answer isn't you, stop. Here's the thing. No one tells pharmacy techs. You are allowed to want more. You are allowed to stop trying so hard for people who will never promote you. You are allowed to walk away from a system that only sees you as disposable labor. If you got a certification, you're not dumb. You're not naive. You're not ungrateful. You're ambitious. You care. And the system failed you, not the other way around. You were told you were climbing a ladder, but it turns out it was just a treadmill. You're tired for a reason. But you are not broken. Use that fire. Use that pain. Just aim it somewhere that finally gives something back. Now I want to hear from you. Did you get a certification? What happened next? Did you get a raise? A new title? Or just more work? DM me. Email me. Leave a comment. Or send it anonymously. I want to amplify your story. And if you want my free list of certifications that actually open doors in QA, biopharma, research, and remote clinical roles, hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. No spam, no upsell, just strategy. And most importantly, share this episode. Send it to the tech who's burned out and still trying. Send it to the coworker who keeps asking, should I do sterile compounding? Send it to the one who just spent $300 on a cert and still works every weekend. This is Pharmacy Tech Unfiltered. I'm Elena Rutka, and I'm telling you, you are not one more certification away from being enough. You already are. Talk soon.